Hello, listeners. You are listening to Unify KL Radio, the voice of KLians with your favorite RJ Akil. Only on the show, Minute Maid Masti make your every moment Jabardasti. It's been a long time. There is no communication between you and me, and I think you might be bored and there is no entertainment, right? So today I am here with a special guest to make all the boredom to kick it off. So, as you all know that today is September 5th and the Teachers' Day is going all over India. And the reason behind the Teachers' Day in India is that it's been the birthday of former President of India, Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan Garu, who is a great, eminent educator, philosopher, moreover, and a great enthusiast who supported the teachers and the education. And at the same time, we had an other Teachers' Day that is celebrated worldwide, that is on October 5th. The UNESCO has given a theme for the World Teachers' Day that is so called leading in the crisis and reimagining the future. As from the theme, we can come to know that there is a crisis going on due to the pandemic. The economy has shrunken, all the schools and the colleges has been shut down, and a lot of people life turned into a nightmare. And the digitalized education on its move, and the teachers from every corner of the world striving themselves hard and sharing a huge bowl of knowledge to all the students over there at different parts of the world. And eventually, this has been restructuring the future that we had earlier thought about. So, to talk about these themes, we had a special guest, and to share a huge bowl of knowledge, we had a special guest. So, listeners, keep listening to the show and enjoy it. So, our guest is that none other than Sri Vidya Ma'am Garu from K University Department of Basic Engineering Sciences, who had a special and unique, different style of teaching in all walks of the teaching profession. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome to KL Radio.
Yeah, hi, welcome, Akin.
Ma'am, first of all, how you feeling that this is the first time ever virtual interview that is going on?
Yeah, everything is learning,
Yeah.
another innovation.
Yes.
So we have to keep going with the whatever mode is available now.
Hmm. So, ma'am, initially a very happy Teachers' Day to you, ma'am, and all over the teachers who bestowed themselves to the students over there.
Yeah, thank you for your wishes. So I take the wishes on behalf of all the faculties here over in KL. It is a challenge more than the students. It is the more burden is on the teachers here because since the crisis, since March, the colleges have been shut down, and we are back to college right from June 3rd. So for that period of 2.5 months at home, the immediate whatever the management had decided, like they wanted to take the crisis so that it doesn't hit the students in any way, so that even our academic calendar is not going to get disturbed. So the moment the lockdown was announced by the government, so our management worked very tirelessly and with all the experts. So no sooner within a week we started with our online classes as well, as you all know that. And as per the schedule, we completed our test too, and also the end semester exam through proctoring. So everything was very new in the beginning, and even there was more stress even for us. But then over a period of time, we also had to get along with the situation. And I believe now from June, we also started with the academic calendar. So without any hitches and glitches, I think we are the first of a kind in India for where we have not taken any setback due to the pandemic, and we are our schedule is planned as per the academic calendar.
Yes, ma'am. And moreover, I think our university stands in the first place, starting the online examinations and taking the students to the next level without disturbing their academic calendar. So, ma'am, keeping all this aside, and our theme is that leading in the crisis and reimagining the future. First of all, we, the listeners, and all the students of KL University and all the listeners from all over the world, needs to know that the essence of the Teachers' Day within your own words.
Yeah, see, I feel teacher is a very, very important. As actually, mother is the first teacher for any child, because and as home is the first school for any child who's born. Okay, so after the mother's teaching, the child exposed, the immediate person to whom the child is exposed is only the teacher in the school. So I believe the teacher plays a very major part in shaping up students' personality, and major influences happen from the teacher only, because day in and day out, for close to 8 to 9 hours, all the students are getting like they are all exposed only to the school life or the college life for that matter. So I believe a teacher has to be even more responsible, and a teacher is a role model. The first role model is where what I am, my students are going to be that. So I always feel like, my favorite tagline is, my students are my mirror image. So I always see them like that. Like in a mirror, I see myself. So similarly, my students are like me, and I feel like they should be like me. So for that, basically, I have to imbibe all those qualities so that I could lead them in a proper way. So a teacher is a very, very important a person in a student, for any student's life, and for any guidance. And I think we have to be more well informed before passing on to the students, and there is more responsibility for a student's personality. I feel the major percentage lies in the teacher only.
Yes, ma'am. As earlier, as said by you, the mother is the first teacher. Here at everyone's home, parents are striving hard for not letting down their education, and the teachers also at the same time not going down to not going down, and also striving apart from all their family circumstances and driving the students to the next level. Ma'am, how do you feel that teaching from these online platforms? How do you feel that it is a very different experiences from the offline education that we went so far ever?
Actually, in virtual, there is more of preparation needs to go than in offline. Here we have to prepare the materials. Though I don't run PPTs in my class, that every one of you know. But then here, to get the students hooked up, we have to run through PPTs and all the reading materials online, and it is very challenging, in fact. But then still there are a virtual medium where we can have a face-to-face interaction. So I feel like we have to go on with the circumstances and situation, rather than giving that as a reason during the crisis and postponing things. I think this corona has opened doors to innovation for that matter, and everybody have upgraded. Okay, until then nobody were aware of Teams or WebEx or Zoom for that matter. So I think this is where advancement has come, and we are also embracing it in a right way, for the right use of education. So as a mother and as a faculty, I feel like what I would do, I would expect for my child. So the same thing, I am also, as I'm empathetic, I know what is that requirement for my students as well. So everything is being planned accordingly, so that they don't uh, they're not they're not away from the academic calendar. So that is what is our more concern. So as per schedule, we have planned out everything, and everything is happening because of the management's hard work and effort.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, we have to say one thing here. That is more than the students when we are in offline. Students have to put their whole efforts in the learning system. But right now, teachers are making a whole effort because of preparing PPTs or the gathering information. And most of the people and the students from villages and where there is no internet connection, they usually face a lot of problems like internet issues. So, how the management of the faculty all over there is prepared for these kind of backwards or these kind of struggles, whether where a student will face from internet issues and he may lack in something and he may not get the information. Even there are some situations that there are some places where students like uh, many students have died due to the no right of access to education in these days.
Yeah, we understand like though you're also in big cities, but still there are technical issues are there because there are so many people who are working from home. So that network issues are there happening because this is the problem even I faced when I went back home in March and April. So it is there, and we really understand about the marginalized students who are not having that affordability for that matter, or even the technical issues due to their uh, uh, place, due to the remote places where they are staying. We see from every aspect, like no student is left behind. Okay, if at all, if anybody is approaching, like they were not able to connect to the classes due to the technical issue, we see that our materials reach them by mail, or so many other platforms are there. Okay, so we see like once when the student approaches, ma'am, I missed my class, it is because, so we see like nobody will be left behind, and we see they're also on par with the classes with other students, though with technicalities issues are there, but then we also parallelly see that materials reach them, and whenever they have doubt they can also call over phone. Okay, so internet, it is, I don't think where there is a will there is a way, I feel. Okay, so okay, so if at all only the student requires any kind of amount, to the best of our ability, we are ready to reach them out to our whatever best we can do from. So that even our management also, they are very particular, like uh, whatever the best we can do for the students. So the total support is there from the management always, and we are here for that only.
Yes, ma'am. We have been seeing the efforts put by the management and the faculty for day and night itself. Even more evenly, we are conducting the online exams itself, which is a challenging task for all the faculty and the students itself. Because there is a misuse of internet, there will be misuse of internet, which will help for this movement, but in a long run it might be affect the student and the whole society later on. So how can we come across these challenges of misuse of internet, ma'am?
Yeah, see, this internet, right usage of internet, I think we have been creating awareness, very frequently among the college students as well as students for that matter. So I think if they only have that right understanding, like what I'm supposed to do, when what is the best use I can put it for, I think it is only, I believe now due to this online classes, since students are also, their data are also being drained only for the online classes. So I feel in a better way, like they will not have any data left out for other internet accessibility. So it is like they're not far off. I cannot say like totally students are misusing. I think our KL students are even more well, they're well better off when compared to others. So I think they know the right use of technology. So, or else if at all it is also not happening in some place or the other, I think that constant awareness is where we have to, bring it into place to make them understand what is really needed for them at that situation.
Yes, ma'am. Most of the people, as you said, that the whole internet is consuming towards the classes itself, and there is no time for entertainment and all the other things. And ma'am, there is one serious challenge that for every student, that is most of the people have the comparative nature. They usually compare to the people who are higher than others. So in this virtual era, we usually the people who had less internet connections and who are lacking of the classes, they might feel, oh, we are getting somewhat less. I can't survive with this. Maybe my marks will be graded down, and there is a chance of increasing in the number of suicides and these all the social evil threats. So how can we reduce them with the proper counseling and proper guidance, ma'am?
See, that is what, as I always say in the class, like never compare with others. Every person is different. Every person background is different. Everyone are coming from a very diversified background. So here, when I'm going to start comparing myself with other, I'm going to dig my own grave, and it's going to end up in a disaster. So rather than only to try to count on your blessings, like at this pandemic, we only need to really count on our blessings. Like today, we are alive and in amidst of so many deaths that has happened around the world. So first, let us be thankful. Like yeah, okay, I've got the opportunity to live. So if you only understand what is my purpose, it is not to compare with all this. Whether I have a proper laptop, whether I have a proper internet connection, I don't think that is very much that important, rather than count your blessings on life. And apart from that, if you feel, if any student feel like this is only going to be a setback where I'm not having a internet issue, I'm not having a proper connectivity issue, and that is going to take a setback on my academic calendar. On that front, as a faculty, we always see that you're not going to lose anything on that matter, and so we will always we find ways and means to help you on that purpose. So kindly let the students not worry about if that is only going to bother them, because as from the university, from the management, there is no pressurized, so it is only to put the students at ease, and so that they don't lose this academic year. So it is only on that motive all the online classes have been started, and whatever support, maximum support we can give, render from our side, we are always ready to do that. And apart from that, the suicides or whatever it is, that's what we always feel, peer counselors. I think students can become the best peer counselors, though they may not come directly and open up to us. They may feel like going to a counselor is something a taboo or a stigma. So I feel like every one of you all, if you could only be a peer mentors or a peer counselors, I think you can, since you all belong to the same age group, they may easily open up with you. Maybe if you identify any such people across your classes or in the university, I think you portray the role of a peer counselor, and then maybe you can come and tell us. We'll try to find a way to approach such students. That is what. Not everybody are making the best use of the psychologists here. It is not, I don't blame the students. It is the awareness what they have. They feel it is a stigma. When I go to a counselor or psychologist, I'm not well. People are going to look at me. So that is what the stigma that is created by the society. So I think maybe the better the children who are well informed about what are the mental health issues that is going to affect them in their daily life, I think they will not have any such inhibitions, and they will be readily come to us, so that we can try to resolve whatever emotional imbalances they are going to have.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, and this at the same time, the technical education system, which we are coming back from the long period of time, uh, it has been affected very seriously. Like most of the people have been taking the classes, theoretical classes can be taught online, and it will be fine. It can enhance the efficiency of an human being. But without the technical approach, without touching the materials in the lab, how can an human being can elevate their capabilities to the next level?
See here, even for the lab activity, your students are being, you know, uh, they're exposed to the virtual labs here. So to the best of abilities, I think that all the working models, everything is being showed. Okay, so that is what I say. If this is only going to be the way of life, so how innovative I am going to be. So that is where a teacher's role is a major part there. How am I going to engage my students in my class? Okay, because in a virtual learning, the students may just log in and they may not even listen to the teacher what is happening there. So it all depends on the teacher's efficiency to engage my students there. And if this is going to continue for another few more months, or maybe till next academic year, I think more innovation, that's what I said, necessity is the mother of invention. Okay, so it is a necessity. So slowly, like now we are doing the virtual chat through Zoom. So similarly, there is going to be some upgradation or the other, even on the virtual labs, where maybe I heard about the VR, the virtual reality. I think that is all happening. I think that will also happen. Maybe I totally agree. Like it cannot replace 100% replacement. Offline classes with online cannot happen. But with the situation, we have to tide over the situation rather than sitting and cribbing over it. That is.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, what is the thing that you can say to the student, every student, in this new digitalized education era, ma'am? Because most of the people, as you said, that simply log in and leave the classes there itself. But there is no, most of the people who can't listen the classes just by simply logging into the class. So what every student should be remembered in this new time, because I can't see there is no period in the short near future that the schools or the colleges should be can be reopening.
See, always the students need to have a thought like there is a person when they are when they are ready for the session. When my faculty is ready for the session, I only request all the students to think for a moment like there is so much of hard work and effort going from the faculty in preparing the teaching material. Okay, so kindly think like okay, try to be. I always tell like be open minded, be receptive of whatever is happening. Though not though we agree like not all the faculties are that equipped with the technology, but still everybody are in the learning phase. The pandemic happened all of a sudden, so it is like it has brought that uncertainty every life. Even a faculty, as a faculty, even we are also human beings, we are also individual, we are also in the learning process along with you all. So any if you feel there is any some technical issues are happening or more that efficiency is to be, so every day is a learning process. Maybe when I compare myself from April, May, June, so I feel now in the month of September, I think I have started to enhance my usage, and it is more put it in a more better efficient way. I've learned so many other technicalities also. So it takes time for everybody to learn, and always only remember like the faculties are we have started to work right from June 3rd, and we are here. Those students are not there, but we are all in the college. And as usual, morning college timing 9 to 5. We are all here working for 8 hours. It's only to prepare lessons and all the materials for the students to receive. So all just put in a thought and try to remember like my faculty is putting more effort, so I need to equally cooperate. So see, any teaching is only a two-way communication. It is not like somebody is coming, delivering and going. Unless and until that interaction is there from the students, I don't think the teacher will also get that motivation. So we feel like students are a source of motivation for the faculties as well. So it is a double-edged sword. So we are motivating you, you are motivating us. So that is how learning can happen.
Yes, ma'am. So, as the every student should remember that the classes are for ourselves and the teachers and the faculty over there are striving very hard for the future. So every student should keep in all these things in mind and should go to the next level, sacrificing their time. And most of the people think that right now we are at home, we need to spend with our parents. We can listen to the classes. There are many resources like Byju's or so and so. They are always thinking of that we had another alternative so that we can listen to the next classes. What is there in this? So how can we cut down these type of stigmas?
See, that is what I tell. No, it is where the students have to have that. I think the faculties have to create a trust on students. Like you're going to learn something from me new today. So every faculty approach is different. You cannot, generalize like yeah, all the teachers are like that. Every faculty, and again, it is like some people have more competency, some people have less competency, but everybody are in the learning stage. It is not like they don't know much or they don't know they know less. Everyone are equally and everyone have been qualified. Maybe the approach where every faculty takes is quite different. So in that case you cannot generalize, and you cannot feel like yeah, I can as well log into other learning websites. So see, uh, for the purpose of every student or whomever is joining in KL is for a purpose. Okay, everybody have set their goals, and all the faculties here are well qualified, and the management has only equipped with well qualified faculties here. So even then, during the learning or during the classes, if at all there is any issues, yeah, any if the if the teaching is not, you're not able to grasp that learning pace or whatever it is. See, unless and until the students open up with the faculties will not know what is the issue happening. Okay, unless and until I get a feedback. That is why we say you need to be very interactive. If you're not interactive, it is like you are the stimulus for us. If you are going to be more interactive, even I'm also in the exploration process along with you, so we both are learning simultaneously. Okay, so that learning has to happen only when the student is more interactive. When the student is not active, when the student is going to be passive, even the faculties are not going to have that much of motivation, so they just run through the PPT and they may go. So it is only the students who have to ignite the minds of the teacher also.
Yes, ma'am. There should be a wrap up between the student and the teacher, so that everything goes well and both of them can learn to the next level. Ma'am, we have been seeing that situations in the families itself. Most of the parents saying that to the students, you are staying in the home calmly and you are just listening to the classes. What is the use of that? And why don't you do any work other than now sitting silently in front of the laptop or the mobile phone? How can we cut these kind of situations at the home, and what should be the good relationship between the parents and the students towards the education?
I believe this can happen at homes where only students are logging and when there is no interaction. Because when there is no interaction from their children, the parents are also watching. They feel like, God, my child is only logging in, and absolutely there is no interaction happening. So it is only the students who have to show like they're very passionate about the class and there some learning is happening for them. And also from the parents, that is what the children need to really educate them, educate the parents, or make them aware like there is so much of learning happening. And here, since you all are learning from home, there is lot more time to pursue your even other interests because you're not traveling, you're staying at home. Okay, so there are more other opportunities are there since you have more time now. Okay, so kindly try to explain this to your parents. If at all, if they maybe they are not convinced about your whatever you say, maybe you can direct them to us. Maybe we will put it in a more different way so that it is not to convince, it is only to actually tell them how is it happening and what is happening. Okay, so I think that will serve them in a more better way.
Yes, so the student need to tell the reality to the parents what's going on, so that the student can be more indulging in the education, and there should be no then there will be no misunderstandings between the parents and the students in this new digitalized education system. Ma'am, apart from all these, there is one more question regarding the reimagining the future. How this new education system will reimagine the future as we earlier thought about it. And in India, we had a government has introduced a new educational policy. Uh, but is there any chance of reimagining the future? Because most of the people, I can say that 60% of the people can move forward with this online education system. And what about the remaining 40%? How can we help them?
No, if you are only going to now talk about the new education policy, it is a wonderful move. I believe after so many years, this has been framed, and I think it is going to. As academicians, we really welcome this, and as a psychologist, I feel because I have seen many students who are struggling. We usually struggle with subjects like science and math in their high school level. I think for such students, new education policy is a boon where, unlike foreign country, a student can choose. It is a plethora of courses there. It is not like a science student can go only through a science stream. Here in new educational policy doesn't say that. They say a person can choose a science, a person can choose a economics, a person can choose humanity. So where do they come? They don't come under any science group, maths group, commerce group. So instead of categorizing them, now it is okay. What now really it will only um, encourage every student. I think this new education policy is really a boon to all the students who will be. I think it is only going to be functional from 2023. That is what the latest news has come. So it is a wonderful opportunity. So where my learning doesn't stop with, though I may have passion about science, but if I'm also having an interest in economics, but because I'm passionate about science, I'm pushed in the science stream. But with new education policy, I can as well pursue my economics. Okay, so where here it is giving you opportunities for multiple employment options are there with new education policy. So it is really, I feel it is only redefining the future, reimagining the future as a whole. Because see, assume if this online education is only going to continue, I think digital education is only going to be the uh, I think this will only going to continue for the next generation. This is what the start has begun. So I feel, but then, as I said earlier, it can never replace the face-to-face interaction. Even now we are face-to-face, but then that physical environment is only missing there. Uh, but still, okay, to the best of our ability, whatever resources we can make use of, and if at all, if any education policy may come, like 3 days a week you will be attending your classes, offline classes, and 4 days a week you will be attending your online classes. Still, I think we are still connected with that physical environment, at least those 3 days. And I see this as only the digital education. I think this is only the future. I think Corona has brought in. Corona is only a medium. It is only a biggest reason of for every one of us to innovate in this. And actually, I don't see, though there are only the technical issues, or else everything is going good. So imagining the future, I think it will be a very bright future. It will be a more better future than the current education system, because there are more flexible opportunities are going to be provided for the students in choosing their subjects. So I don't think now students really need to go to abroad for study. Everything, whatever they want to learn, they can pick up. They can choose the basket of subjects what they want to pursue. So I think it is a very good move. And reimagining a future, it is the need of the hour actually. And new education policy has come in at the right time.
So Corona has given a two-way that developing the technology as well as redefining the education system. And at the same time, it has been educating all the people who living in the rural areas. Uh, because of that, many people have been connected with the social media and connecting with the teachers in every moment, every particular time, so that the student will not get loss of any type of classes or the education. So, ma'am, this is the end of the question and the further theme of World Teachers Day and our Teachers Day also. Putting this all aside, just we need to ask you some few questions about your professional. How do you started your professional career? So, who is who? How do you started your profession, ma'am? And who inspired you the most to become a teacher?
Okay, see, it all started from my school. I studied in a school in Chennai, where we followed the European culture of education in our school, where unlike in normal schools, teachers come to the classes, whereas in our school we used to go to the teachers class. Actually, we used to have a geography class, science class, so we used to carry our books and we used to go to the teachers, to the classes. And where in that school, right from the young age, we have been exposed to seminar. So as soon as when we come to the middle school, right from sixth standard, all the students every month we are supposed to take seminars. We will be given the topic a day before, and we have to, though that time computers were not there, so we could not do a PPT. So, but they will give us a topic, and where internal evaluation happened there. So right from that age, maybe I can say right from my sixth standard, this teaching had happened. We were supposed to take seminar topics were there. So that was a part of our internal evaluation then. So that is how we started to teach. Actually, that is how we started to conduct, teach for the class, and we will be evaluated on the peer feedback from then on. And even the teachers used to evaluate on our delivery, on our preparation for the material, on the class control, everything. So I believe it all started from my school, and all thanks go to my alma mater for shaping me today. What I am today, it is only because of my school there. And apart from that, I also had my other chemistry teacher. Her name is Mrs. Lee. Today, I really wish her a happy Teachers' Day, and I can never forget her. She was my chemistry teacher in 11th and 12th, and the best teacher whom I've ever come across. Because as a science student, chemistry, she just walks into the class and she never used to carry any of the books. She just comes and teaches that organic chemistry, all the equations. We used to think what super brain she used to have, even you ask about 100 equations, she just writes on the board and she keeps explaining. So we usually get awestruck, and that is the reason I always felt like I have to be like her. When I get into the class, the spontaneity and the flow has to come. So that is what I have observed her as a very good teacher, and with so much of dedication and commitment. Now whatever quality, if I feel I have, those were the teachers from whom I have imbibed all those. So all the credit goes to the people and school, my teachers and the school who had shaped me.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, and there is no chance of becoming other than the teacher from your childhood, right? Actually, I framed a question: what would you become if not a teacher? So there is, after listening to this, there is no chance of taking any other profession rather than of teaching.
No, anyways, as you know, I'm a psychologist also, but teaching is my passion. I love to teach. I don't get tired at all when I teach. It is not like I look at the time. I feel, it is only the exchange of knowledge what we are doing. So teaching is my passion.
Yes, ma'am. As a teacher, what is the best moment you have ever faced? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, as a teacher, there were many. I could quote many incidents for that matter. I've had many, learning disabled children in my classes. To be one student whom I made a change in particular is it was in 2006 when there was a particular student whom the school had decided like she cannot fare through her class 10 exam because I don't want to label her like she was very poor in academic. Maybe she was not taught in a right way right from the beginning. I only blame the teachers. I don't blame any of the students. Students are always the best, and they're all a bunch of talent. It is what the teacher should be creative in taking it to every student need is different. I cannot come and deliver in the pace how I want. There are many different kinds of students present in my class, so I have to satisfy all the needs of the students there. So for that particular student, actually the management had decided to give the TC for her. They asked her to appear privately. But then I went, and when that news came to me, I went and spoke to the management, to the principal. I said, just give me a chance. I will try to personally coach that student. So they said like you're really taking a risk of taking that student, and the schools are very much bothered about that 100% pass percentage. So the student, the principal was not accepting. They said because of that one student, we are going to lose that 100% pass percentage. So I said, if you only trust me, give that student to me. I will coach her individually. So I had to coach her long hours, and ultimately she completed her 10th with the second division, and now she's completed her MBA also, and she's settled in US.
oh, that was so great of you, ma'am. And there are many incidents that in this society, where the education system has become commercial rather than of exchange of knowledge. So, what we should do to come across these kind of social evils?
See, social evils, that what, that awareness, what is that I want in life? Life is very short, okay, and life is very uncertain. See, at the end of the day, I need satisfaction. Money is not going to give me that satisfaction. I'm going to hold a lot of money. At the end of the day, every day I'm going to help somebody in some way or the other. That is the satisfaction. I think that is what, that loads of happiness what every individual should look for, rather than in commercial aspect. It is not like whatever service I do, everything is only proportional in terms of money. Money cannot buy everything, or my satisfaction cannot be measured in terms of money. So I feel that it is only the people, and again, I don't blame the people for behaving in that way. They are brought up in such a family, they're brought up in such a society. So it takes time. I don't say now, actually they are changing. Maybe with every student, a student can go educate the family, and the families can educate the society, and thereby they educate everybody around them. So I feel we are going better, and it will be better in future also. So I believe in KL we have around 15,000 students. Almost, I think I take class for all the students here in some branch or the other. At least even if there is 1% achievement through our teaching, and if they are going to take it to other people in the society, I think that itself is a big achievement from us.
Yes, ma'am. The teacher will be more successful when her student or when his student become the successful person in the society, right? So here we can conclude this session, ma'am. We are very thankful for your spending your valuable time for us and making our all the listeners and the students more cheerful. So one last word from your side, ma'am, so that every student will keep her or his spirits up and keep going on.
An appeal or a request to all the students, have fun when you come back to college. I know you all are missing the college here. So have fun, and even if there is any you feel like my faculty has not treated me in the way which I wanted, it is only the situation. And always remember, like, we don't have any personal vengeance or with anyone for that matter. It is only to discipline you at certain times. We would have taken certain decisions there. So ultimately, more than the parents, apart from the parents, I think we teachers are the one who will be the happiest person when we only hear like our students are being placed well, and our students are doing very well in life, and they are doing a very good job. I believe in whichever corner of the world we are, and also you are there, I think we teachers will always, when we hear your name, we will always be happy for you, and our blessings are always there. So never think like this teacher did that to me. No, it is not that. All are our children. It is not like we see everybody as our children only. We don't see you as an other some other person. So always have that in mind. You all are our children, and we always want the best from you, and we always want to see you in the best position. uh, Best wishes to every one of you, and stay safe. We are also expecting to get back to you to college, hoping that will happen sooner.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. We wish you a happy Teachers' Day once again, ma'am.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your all your wonderful words to us.
సో మా అభినవ్ గుమ్మటం పాపం మేము 24 hours షూట్, ప్రొడక్షన్కి ఏమో 36 hours, సెట్ వేయడానికి 12 hours, 24 hours షూట్. అది వాళ్ళకి 36 hours, మాకేమో మార్నింగ్ టు మార్నింగ్ షూట్. సో
మళ్ళీ అబద్ధం అవుతుంది చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి అని చెప్తే. సో యాక్చువల్గా గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్ తర్వాత నేను చేశానండి. గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్ తర్వాత కొద్ది రోజులు జాబ్ చేసి, ఆ తర్వాత నేను 2012-13 ఆ టైంలో సివిల్ సర్వీస్ మీద గట్టిగా అటెంప్ట్స్ ఇస్తూ రాయడం జరిగింది.